Breaking news, quit my job today. Now, some people that quit their jobs, they do so because maybe they won the lottery or maybe they just got offered another job, a better job somewhere else. Is that what happened? No. No. I have absolutely nothing lined up. I will scurry and try to find another one because I can't go long without pay, but yeah, I quit my job today. This is like the fourth or fifth time. I've lost count in the last 2 months for 4 or 5 different jobs. What did I say? 2 months in the last like 2 years. So I've been at this job for 2 months training, and then today was my first day, just completely by myself. And leading up to today, I had a sense that this wasn't going to work out because the amount of energy I'm expending greatly exceeds the amount of pay that I'm getting in return. So, long story short, I'll try not to make this too long, but basically, I stock shelves at gas stations for a large beverage company, and they want me to do like 8 stores a day, 8, 9, sometimes 10, but probably on average about 8. So I've been training for 2 months, and me and my trainer both working 100 miles per hour. It takes us about 8 hours to do 8 stores if we're just redlining it the whole time, working super fast, not even taking a break. Because what happens is you drive, for a half an hour to a store, and then you do that one. You're there for a half hour to 45 minutes. Then you drive to another one, and then another one, and another one. It adds up. So by the time you've completed your day, you've done like 2 hours worth of driving plus like 8 hours worth of labor. So it's really like a 10-hour a day job more than an 8-hour a day job. And that's with me and another guy working super fast. So today was my first day on my own with my own route, and I had 7 stores to do. So you can do the math. If it takes 2 guys a long time to do 8 stores, then it's going to take one guy, especially a new guy, super long to do 7 stores. So when I was at my store, I arrived at my first store. This is going to be my very first store that I do on my own. I arrive, everything's going smoothly, working super fast, and my manager comes in, and I wasn't expecting him. He didn't like give me a heads up or anything, which he's not. I guess he's not supposed to in this situation. That's the whole point. But he comes in and he's like, or I say, oh hey man, you keeping an eye on the new guy? And he's like, yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm doing. So that could have rubbed somebody the wrong way. That it didn't really rub me the wrong way. I was like, okay, I get it. This is employers doing employer shit. This is what they do. But anyway, we start talking, and while I'm stalking, he's like kind of helping me a tiny bit. He's not really helping me. He's just kind of there to observe and like make sure that I'm doing okay. But while he's helping me, he says, kind of in passing, he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna help you finish this store out. We probably had like maybe 20 minutes worth of work left to do there. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to help you finish this store out and help you get back on track, and then send you on your way to go do your other stores. And in my mind, I'm thinking, is he trying to say that I'm like working slow? Because I'm working at a pretty fast pace here. And I realize while I'm thinking about what he just said, most people it would have been nothing, just kind of like I said in passing. But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, he doesn't really think I'm working slow because objectively I'm not. Maybe for a new guy, you could argue that as a new guy compared to an experienced guy, maybe in that sense I'm slower. But I'm definitely not like slower than the average person that would do this. And it occurs to me, oh, he's trying to like set the stage for future future performance. He wants me in this moment to feel like even though I'm working fast, I'm still not quite working fast enough. He wants me to feel like I have to work even faster to make them happy. Dang, I better start working even faster. I was going 100 miles an hour. Maybe I just got to work 110 miles per hour. That's the way they want you to think. They want you to just like feel like you're never pleasing them enough, so you got to work harder and harder. And so once he said that, it just kind of occurred to me like, "Dang, bro, like, am I really about to just quit right here?" And I'm trying to talk myself out of it, while he's, like, kinda talking. But I just have this, like, insatiable desire, this, like, just blunt honesty in me that I just can't suppress, that eventually comes out. I just can't hold it in. I don't know if it's, like, a mild form of autism or what, but I just can't hold it in, and so I say, well, man, based on the pay that I'm getting and the amount of energy I'm putting out, there's only so much that I'm willing to do, which is which is honest, right? That's actually what is happening in all working situations. But you're just not supposed to say that. And I think for a second there, he's like, "Oh shit, is this dude about to be serious and intimate and honest and vulnerable? Like you're not supposed to do that." So after I say that, he tries to be like somewhat relatable, and we start talking about the company, and he's like, "Yeah, man, they cut my mileage was good. I was getting a reimbursement, a fat reimbursement, and then they changed some policy, and now I'm getting like half of that." So he's like, "Man, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get that we're doing a lot more than what we're getting paid for, and yada yada." And it occurs to me while I'm saying that I've suddenly given them too much leverage. I was just being an honest, genuine person in the moment, talking about the job. Like we're doing more work than what we're getting paid for. And I realize, oh, now they could just fire me. They could fire me because now they kind of know that I'm that guy that'll check out. So I've given them too much leverage already. So I realized while I'm talking to him, like, oh, then now I just have to quit. Like you can't say that to an employer. You can't say like I'm not getting paid enough this early on and expect to like be there long. They'll be looking for a reason to let go of you. Maybe they might think, even though I'm not a problem, they might think in their mind, oh, this guy might be a problem. We got to get rid of him. So once I realized, like, damn, I've already given him too much leverage just by being honest. Like, okay, now I just gotta tell him bye and sorry. So that's kind of what I did. I was like, look, man, I think that if I'm working here, I'm not gonna have time to look for something else. And I think if I just do it now, it'll free my day up to try to find something else. Cause I said, unless you guys want to change something around, unless if you want to give me four stops a day, that would be reasonable. I could do that. I could work at a steady pace, a reasonable pace. But they want me to work at a double pace, forever, indefinitely. And sometimes, even more than that. But, half of what they were proposing would have actually been you would still be busy. Like, don't get me wrong, 4 stores instead of 8 stores, that sounds like, oh, well, you're just trying to get away with doing half the work. No, like 4 stores, if you do it right, if you did the job right, you'd be there for like 2 hours at each store, if you really did it right. But they put you in this position where if you do the job right, you'll be there all day. You're never going home. Like if you actually like took your time to do everything the way they really actually tell you you're supposed to do it, pulling everything to the front, facing it, checking everything to make sure it's not expired, organizing the back stock, blah, 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 putting the new stock out. That all takes a lot of time if you were to do it the right way, the ideal way anyway. So anyway, I tell him, look, if you guys want to do like 4 stores, with this current pay, that'd be more reasonable to me, or have me work alongside a teammate where it was like during my training where it's 2 guys knocking out 8 stores, in 8 hours. I was like, that would be more, that would be a little more understandable. But at this rate, if I'm not working fast enough for you here and I'm already going pretty fast, then you're just gonna have to find somebody else, basically. So anyway, he told me to make a phone call to the guy above him before I make a rash decision. And so I made a quick phone call to that guy, and he's like, well, we explained to you during the interview and the orientation that you'd be doing about 8 or 9 stores a day. And I was like, yeah, you said 8 or 9 stores a day it'd be 30 to 45 minutes at each store. You didn't tell me, oh, by the way, there's a half hour to drive here and there, and then you're waiting in the parking lot for the driver to deliver the stuff. It all adds up to be way more hours than you expect. Not to mention the wear and tear you're putting on your car. Like I already said, I'm $1,200 in the hole basically already for a pothole that took out two of my tires. So I feel like I was working for free at that point almost. But anyway, so that's it. I won't. I guess there's no need to say more. But that's what happened. So I am currently jobless. This was all like it's 9:30 as I'm saying this. This all happened. I got to work at 6 a.m. So this all took place within like the last 3.5 hours. Arriving there and then deciding to leave. So we'll see what happens from here on out. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find another shitty job, and I guess I'll just keep going through shitty job after shitty job until I find one that I think is bearable for somewhere to be for 8 hours of the day for 40 hours a week, if not more. But I don't expect to find it. If I'm being honest, I don't expect to find it, and that's why I say like I'm just closer and closer every day to just truly giving up and selling everything, and I don't know, just living out of my car for a few years until the money runs out, and then sayonara from there. That's not what I want to happen, but for me, if existence for me is being 45 and coming home after a long day's work and watching YouTube for a couple hours, going to bed, and then doing the exact same thing the next day, if that's what my life is going to be, then I don't know how much longer I could plan on sticking around. If I stuck around, it would be purely to not make my mom sad. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I'm sticking around. I saw this in a comment. I won't claim it for myself. I saw this in a comment somewhere. I think it was on TikTok, a sad like doomer video. Somebody in the comments said, I'm sticking around just so my mom won't think she did something wrong. And that stuck with me because that's exactly how I feel. Even though, my mom's a tough one, man. My mom, it would be sad if she could get over it. She could. I guess you never get over that, but she could. She has her religion. She's got a sufficient amount of delusion that can carry her through it. Whereas with me, I don't have those kind of religious delusions where I think that working this hard in life is all going to be rewarded in the end because some Middle Eastern based religion is eventually I go to their adult Disneyland when I die. I don't have that delusion to carry me through all this. So it's much more, it makes it harder to bear this life. So anyway, I probably already have said too much. That's the gist. Woke up, went in, quit. Didn't really plan on it. Thought it was a possibility, but in that moment, I just couldn't suppress that urge to say, you know what? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You're going to pay me crumbs and imply that I'm not working fast enough. Come on now. What are we doing here? So that's that. Okay, I guess till next time. See ya.